So one of the features of DvSum is there's a browser plugin and there is a desktop app by which any interface that the business user is in, they are able to quickly access the definitions and the terminologies in the catalog. So let's take a quick look. So in this case, I'm going to open up. So this is the desktop app. Let's go ahead and open it up. Looks like a book, and it's available. I mean, once Becky in this case installs it, and let's say she receives an email. So it could be anything. It could be a PDF, it could be a PowerPoint, it could be Excel, it could be a Power BI Tableau report, or it could be an email, right? Or Teams, for example. So it really doesn't matter. It's on her desktop. So let's say Becky receives this report saying that this is about supplier compliance, and she's looking at a specific metric called risk response score for APAC region. It's worsened because of geopolitical reasons, etc. And she wants a refresher on how is this score calculated, right? So this is a metric. How do I get the definition of the metric? So she just selects the term. She clicks on the book, and now DvSum obviously goes and does a search on your data, your tables, your glossary terms. And in this case, it found the glossary term called risk response score. She's able to see the quick definition of it, the formula. I mean, if she chooses to, she's interested in that, who manages this data, who's the steward for this data. And so very quickly, she's able to find the definition for this. Now, again, one is consuming this, the other is making suggestions, right? So maybe this definition is not complete, or she looks at it and says, you know what, this is not correct. We are not using Moody's, we are using S&P for financial score for this risk response. So she can make a suggestion. Of course, she's a user. She cannot go ahead and update. She doesn't have permissions to directly update the terminology, so she can make a suggestion. Says, okay, let me suggest a definition change and average of S&P, and she can say, these are important KPIs, so let's call it procurement KPIs. She's suggesting this. And just like that, so now her information that she has suggested, the definition change, comes back as an alert to Sam, or whoever, in this case, Sam, for example, he's the steward. So if we go back from a Sam's perspective, risk response score. And this is Sam's view, right? So in this case, when he looks at this KPI or this metric, you will see that he sees that there is a suggestion that shows up on the definition. He can look at what the suggestion was, and either he can choose to ignore it, or in this case, he does want to use it. So let's go ahead and copy it, edit. And let's say I'm going to change it to say S&P. And I'm going to add the tags that she suggested. Classification, procurement. Save it. Publish the changes, and mark it as a result. So now Becky will also get to know that, hey, the suggestions or the contribution that she's making to the enrichment of the data is getting heard. And so this way there is a kind of collaboration between the business and the management of the catalog in a more seamless fashion. So we don't have to send out spreadsheets and say, please fill this information, and that information becomes stale. The user is able to consume the catalog, they're able to contribute to the catalog right from the back.